So come on in. Sound check done. Let's begin. Breaking news. The guess is you. Streaming live for you to view. Open House the podcast. Open House the podcast. Oh.
It is Thursday. You know what that means? It is time for Open House. Where am I? There's my hand. It is time for Open House the podcast. We're still getting used to the circle thing here on our intro.
Hello, everybody.
I am Johnny Awesome here, of course, with Summer, who absolutely is something, everybody, and our special guest as we switch over to camera number one. Alexis Carrera is here with us today, everybody. Actually, this is an episode, and I got to figure out because I got two mics on me here, and I forget which mic we're going to be doing this on the live, flying on the live. That's the way that we do it. I forget. This is an episode that I've been waiting a long time to do. There we go. Now I think everything sounds better. Sound good to you guys? Wow, minus that noise. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
All right, good.
It's great. Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, good. We're doing good.
We're good.
We're good. Yes, that is that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's where it came from.
Yeah, it's a good inspo.
So I am. Oh, there's the button. Now everything sounds better and in full high def. Cool. So hey, everybody, welcome. This is actually something I've been wanting to do for a really long time. I have no idea where this conversation is going to go. I'm going to start with, as you can see, we are clearly not at the Spring Showdown event. So we're here though, and luckily, Alexis is one of the 16 people that had nothing better to do today, so she was able to show up
I have
here.
nothing better to do. I would rather be here this morning.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that
Yeah.
too. And this, for those of you that don't know, me and Alexis go back. This is going to be the first time I actually have ever had one of my best friends on the show.
Oh.
This is my first time. I usually keep them away, and I only have
Away.
that.
Get away.
That I only have the
Why?
one. So you finally made it. But this is going to be interesting because we know so much about each other.
Yeah.
And it's great because Summer
I'll
gets
be
to
a
play
good-
the
yeah.
audience member out here, and so this is going to be interesting conversation. And I've been thinking forever where I want all of this to go, and then you started texting me this morning too. So I'm going to start with, for the people that don't know yet, I've been trying to figure out how we wanted to go with this. So I'm just going to start real light and easy. What are your thoughts and stances on gun ownership?
I like it.
Yeah, good.
I own guns.
Yeah,
Yeah, I have
good.
my
There you go.
concealed pistol license.
Yeah, do you?
Yeah.
I think that's super
I thought you knew
important.
that.
I do know that. I'm
Yeah.
just playing,
Oh.
dumb for
Yeah.
everybody.
Do you? Yeah.
Yeah.
I do. Yeah. I think it's extremely important.
Yeah. It's I bring that up. It's interesting. I bring that up not just to bring it up for, the funsies. But I bring that up because I got to kill this other mic near me. There it is.
Which one?
I got to kill this mic that's right here. Check. There we go. I think that sounds better. I don't know. We'll find
It
out.
sounds the same to me.
Does it?
Yes.
Sounds the same to you too?
Yeah.
Except for now you don't have a mic.
Yeah, hello.
Oh,
check,
no,
check.
there she is.
All right.
Or
so
no, it's...
now you can talk, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So you know that whole part in the video where it says sound check done?
Yeah. That was a lie.
That was a lie.
Yeah, Johnny, you seem a little quiet.
Do I seem? But I'm good now, right?
Maybe.
All right. Well, if I'm quiet, that's not going to hurt anything. Now, can you chat for me real quick?
Yes.
Perfect. I got it. Mic
Okay.
3 was the hot mic.
Okay, perfect.
So it's interesting because the whole gun thing is interesting because it's an interesting topic that comes up, and not that I actually wanted to start that way. I was just trying to. I didn't know that you were. I should have known better. I figured this is what I thought to myself. I thought if I just hit her right in between the eyes with like a tough like we shouldn't talk about this question.
Right.
Maybe she'll stumble.
She didn't.
Nope, not even.
Not
She's
at
like,
all. Not
No.
a piece.
Mine's right here.
I brought it with me.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Yeah, I think it's interesting because, on my way in, and I texted both of you so you guys know this, but on my way in this morning, dropping my kids off to school, because of the area that we were in, we all get this alert all of a sudden. And there is there's a shooting happening at the local hospital, and my son gets the alert before me, which then I get it, and I'm like, oh man, we are literally driving past it. I've never seen so many police in my life driving down the road, and I'm thinking, man, this is nuts. then you're dropping your kids off at school, and you're always
Yeah,
like,
it's scary, huh?
yeah, you always
Yeah.
worry a little. And what's nice that I was really appreciative of, and I'll tell you, it's funny because, and we do this as humans, sometimes until stuff like this happens, you don't like, when I pulled into the school and noticed that there was 2 stationed police officers at the schools today, I instantly was like, literally, thank you for being here. You know what I mean? And when that stuff happens, it's really interesting. You know, I think about parades, and I've always tried to teach this into my kids. You know, when the army men walk by, there are people that are truly clapping, and I've always been one of those, and I've tried to teach that to my kids as well. But then there's those people that are like, when is Santa coming? Who are these old people?
I know.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
yeah.
do you realize, though, if you were alive, some of these people, the reason that they stand and clap is because they were alive and remember how scary it was to go through bomb drills
Right.
during World War II, and these guys were out there fighting to make sure they didn't have to do it.
It's a very important job, and everybody should be super grateful for everything that they do for us, for sure.
And it's getting harder and harder for them out there right now.
I think so too, but I think one of the issues with that is the lack of understanding and the lack of perception comes from the lack of talking about it.
Which is funny because we started the show off with just blatantly, let's hit it in between the eyes.
Yeah.
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 Well, it
That's
can be so
good.
controversial, and people maybe just that you can't talk about it because it becomes an argument or something heated, and it's like, is that productive? Who
It
knows?
could become controversial because it's, then it becomes government related. The government's putting our, the soldiers into these positions, but the soldiers are the ones signing up for this, and it's a back and forth thing. And it's like, I feel like the government system we're all like giant kids in a bigger sandbox.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
It doesn't, problems don't go away; they just get bigger.
No, and
makes
then there's always
sense.
that weird kid that's peeing in the sandbox. and you're
Yeah.
Or sniffing other people.
Then he became president.
Yeah.
You really can accomplish anything.
Yeah, you can do anything.
Little Joey, you could be president someday.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be great. Anyway, I don't know. That wasn't a good Joe Biden. I don't know who that was. That would be the best. But no, it's interesting because I told my kids, I said, let me ask you a question, because I believe in this. I think that with proper training, and some of the teachers be leery about, but there are teachers that are hardcore, all about the safety of the kids. They're there to actually educate. They love what they do. And I think that they should be armed. I'm one of those people.
I totally agree.
I would feel so much safer because what my kids today, because of course it becomes a talking point. You're driving down the road, the kids got a little nervous too because it is a nerve-wracking scene. When we pulled back, you've got every police officer in a 100-mile radius out there. They're blocking every major road off. There's police everywhere. We saw them all at the hospital. It was insane.
How many parents do you think decided not to put their kids in school today because of that?
I'm not sure. Well, I do know that I'm not even part of the Troy school district, and I still somehow received a message from the Troy school district saying that the Troy school district understood what was happening. They were
Maybe it's a
monitoring the
radius
situation, and there's police presence at schools, at least at the schools that my kids go to, and they're not even in Troy. They're in Sterling Heights and.
It's a pretty close in radius
It's
if you
close
think
enough,
about it.
yeah.
It's close enough.
Yeah.
It's at least 10. You're like what, 6 miles away, 7 miles away in Sterling Heights.
Yeah. It's
you're
close
not
enough.
far. Yeah.
But it's something, and it makes you think because, like you said, and I think you said this as well. It's interesting because we're not supposed to talk about it. I'm a fan. And this goes into
Why?
business too.
That's when you have to ask yourself, why aren't we supposed to?
Because some people can't handle the conversation. So what we've lost, I think we've lost this in this country, is the ability of, if you disagree and I disagree, we could still have a civil conversation.
Okay. Yeah.
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 Like, I'm not going to, what's happened is we've lost the ability of you have a different viewpoint than me, you tell me, and now I'm going to get angry and try to convince you that you're wrong. That's where
Yeah.
we've gone. Instead of, where could you be right?
Yeah, I agree with that. I think the lack of acceptance of individuality is it's a curse.
Yeah.
It's toxic to individuality. It's toxic. It's like, and then add in social media and add in, everything else that's going on in the world. And here we are where we're just mirror imaging and we're afraid to be ourselves. It's injected into us every single day.
Yeah.
It sucks. And then people ask themselves, why is that person so depressed, or why am I unhappy?
Yeah.
It's because you can't be yourself. You're walking around like a shell or a shadow.
Right.
And that builds up over time. And that's the society we live in.
Yay!
Yay.
Yeah, depressing.
Yeah.
It is, but it also isn't, because with knowledge comes freedom, right?
Yep.
And here's the thing that I found, and Robert Courtney is a good example. We all know who Robert Courtney is. For those of you that are fans of the podcast, he was one of our first guests. He'll be on again. Robert Courtney has always had the message to be your authentic self. That's one of his biggest messages. And at the end of the day, I think the truth is that the people that are out there, one of the things that I love watching, and I'm one of these people, and I know you are too. One of the things that I love watching is I love watching those YouTube videos where the guy's sitting back and he's filming somebody who's like, out there dancing. And, you've heard the expression, dance like nobody cares. I actually made a post about this on Facebook, and I teach my kids differently. Because the fact of the matter is that dance like nobody cares, in the back of your mind, if you're subconscious, that's not a thing you can do. Because
Right.
your subconscious is going to go, no, but they really are there.
Yeah.
And you are still going to hesitate to do the thing. That's why I try to teach my kids, dance like everybody's watching. There's a difference. And when I put the video up of us singing karaoke with me and my son in front of his entire school and principal
didn't
and all
see
the
that.
teachers. No?
No.
I'll show it to you.
That's so cool.
And I'll share it on the Facebook page. But that's the lesson that I wanted him to learn, because he was super nervous. Well, people are watching me. Absolutely. But if you're because here's the truth. That guy that's sitting behind making fun of the dude that's out there dancing, he might be the only one. That dude that's dancing is having more fun than the guy that's filming.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, that guy is okay with who he is. He doesn't care what people think about him. And he is out there just doing his thing. I don't know, for those of you that aren't local and you don't know local lore around here, have you ever met Spaghetti Man or seen him at a festival?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about.
You know Spaghetti
we
Man?
were together.
Were we?
I was with you. Yes.
Yeah. Where was this at?
2 summers ago.
Arts, Beats, and Eats?
Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, and yeah.
Or was it the jazz festival he showed up to?
One of them. I don't know. We've gone to so many things.
Yeah.
All the things.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, but it was one of them. And
Yeah.
yeah, I know exactly who you're talking about.
Yes.
He's a vibe.
He
does not
something.
care.
He
Yeah.
doesn't. And that's what makes Spaghetti Man, just so you know, and I'll show you a video of Spaghetti Man and put him on the page. By the way, Spaghetti Man, if you're ever listening, I'd love to get you on the show.
Oh my God.
But
That'd be
you'd
so
have to
funny.
dance the entire time, though. Spaghetti Man is this man. They actually wrote about him once in the news article, but he pretty much shows up to every concert event that
In
happens
Southeast Michigan,
in Southeast Michigan.
Oh, that's fun.
He wears this bright yellow suit jacket that he's glittered glue on and puts,
Spaghetti Man on the
Spaghetti
back.
Man on it, and then little sayings, and he's got a cross. And his hair, he has this one long strand of hair that he just has his own style.
It's like a rat tail.
And he knows everybody's watching him,
Yeah.
but he's everywhere, and he will dance. He dances the entire time.
Yeah.
He doesn't stop.
Okay. Does he got some good moves then, right?
Well, have you ever? You don't know. She doesn't know Seinfeld, but he definitely does the Elaine type of dancing from Seinfeld.
Yeah, it's interesting, but who cares?
But he doesn't care, and forever he's been doing it. And at the end of the day, again, the people that sit there and laugh at him, you might be having a little bit of fun laughing at the guy, right? But he is having a blast.
Yeah.
Bands know who he is. He's always up front. And then what happens is, too, when you're your authentic self, it allows other people to release and be who they really are.
Yeah.
And then that's when you get a lot of the fun happens. And then you get into fun situations like me and Alexis right before. She's like, I want to get a tattoo. We're going to go right after the show.
Yeah, I think we should.
Yeah, I think we should. Absolutely. Why not, right?
Yeah, I was saying
Do
that I
it.
wanted to get a tattoo when I was in Cabo, and everyone was like, "Don't do it." I don't know. I'm
she
just
comes
so.
here and I'm like, do it.
Yeah, I'm just.
No, that'd be awesome. You guys should.
Yeah, so Alexis will be getting the first open house the podcast tattoo of anybody, which
Oh
is
my
great.
God.
Thank you for that. I can't wait
I love that for you.
Right on my butt cheek.
get my signature right on your neck. That would be great.
Oh my God. That'd be terrible.
Like you're like, ow.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's
Wait,
So
so
bad.
that's not happening?
No. Oh no! Oh God!
That
How
would
do you
be
explain
crazy.
that one? Who's that? A friend of mine.
I was on his podcast and
Yeah,
he said,
I was
and
on
he
his
just put it out
podcast
there,
and
so you know,
there we go.
When you should go on it. You've got a neck, go on there.
He's looking for more.
He's like, yeah, it's free advertisement.
Spread the word. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I think circling back, you know, people have lost the ability because they're too concerned about what other people think. And you know what the funny thing too, I think there's another lie that we get told a lot. And that is, don't care about what the other person thinks because they're not thinking about you anyway.
They are.
But they are.
Oh, 110%.
But
they are.
here-
But
Here's-
those people, the ones that are thinking about you, are the ones that are self-conscious about themselves.
That's it.
Yep.
High five.
Yes.
Yep, you
Yep.
went there. That's
Yeah.
the thing.
That's the
It's
problem.
so true.
And if you can teach them or create an environment where they don't have to be subconscious, that's the problem. We've created an environment where everybody pretends like they're looking at the other person to look at the other
Subconsciously
person.
self-conscious,
They're yes.
which is the problem. So
Yes.
I know that's people are probably like, "What?
What's
so
happening?
what is that?"
Explain it.
Subconsciously self-conscious, so you don't realize how self-conscious you are, and you're projecting that on other people. If
Correct.
you wonder why you don't have relationships with people, or you walk in a room and everyone else seems to be really charismatic and you're not building connections with people,
Yeah.
it's because you're subconsciously self-conscious.
Yeah.
And that's radiating onto everybody else that you're meeting. And that's going to affect not just your business life, but your personal life.
100%.
Yeah.
Every single day.
Yep.
Every single step you take in life.
Every relationship you have.
Every relationship you have.
We live in a world where we are all connected more than anything else ever before. And since the beginning of time, humans are meant to have relationship, right? And so trying to be, and what's crazy is that in today's day and age, we have really, with how internet works and, you know, the amount of people that just stay home and don't bother to do anything has really skyrocketed. And now those interactions that they have, they're awkward. Or you know, like my kid, you know, I have a 13-year-old now.
Oh my gosh.
You watch him and his friends will come over to watch a movie or whatever. They can't even sit to watch a movie without being on TikTok as well at the same time. And they're completely disconnected from everything else that's happening. And it's like we're training this into people right now, and there's two benefits to that, though. One of the benefit is the people, and this is why I'm trying to teach this to my kids right now. If you learn how to create relationships and be who you really are, then you are going to be so far ahead of everybody else, because everybody else is just learning how to do this, and they don't know how to make true connection, and then they feel awkward, subconsciously self-conscious, and all they know how to do is film and make fun of the person that's actually having a lot of fun.
Well, the thing is too, and I love that you said that, it's tapping into your authenticity is the highest level of energy that you can radiate. It's not love, it's authenticity. So as soon as you can tap into your authentic self, you're now projecting that onto the universe of the world, and those people that are meant to be in your life will come to you. If you're wondering why is my business not taking off? If you're trying to be this, like, you know, luxury realtor and you're wearing suits and ties every day and it's
Yeah.
not your thing,
Yeah.
and you're like, you know, you're a sports guy and you'd rather
Yep,
just be
yep.
in a jersey and
Yeah.
sweatpants.
Yeah.
Be you. As
Yes.
soon as you
Agreed.
tap into just being you, your business and your life will just radiate.
See, and that's so wise, because I remember reading an article about when the crash had happened, the president of Remax was out door knocking.
The housing market crash.
Yeah, when the housing market crashed in 2008 to 10, in 2010 or 11, when I was reading this article, they had done an article about the CEO of Remax was out door knocking to show his agents that you could still work during this environment. And when they had a picture, he had a suit jacket, jean pants, and a baseball cap on. This is the CEO of the company. And that was really like, nobody's really ever talked about this, but men used to have to wear the dark blue blazer with the white shirt and the red tie and keep themselves
And a
clean
name-
shaven.
and a
Remember
name
that?
tag.
Yeah. Even as realtors, we're not doing the name tag thing anymore.
Oh, thank God.
Remember the big gold blazers? So style has changed.
That's crazy.
Oh.
But you're right. I think one of the things we were always taught that. Do you ever hear the thing? Whatever you're wanting to sell, you got to dress 2 steps above that. Did you ever
yeah.
get taught that?
Yeah.
Why? Because you're going to end up working with those people that they won't get you. They're not going to be happy. And could you jam yourself into that box? You could. Or
could.
if that's who you
But it's
really
not you.
want to be, you could do that as well.
Yeah.
But you're never going to really fully fit. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not a 3-piece suit guy. I like a good blazer that's loud over the top of a shirt, you know, of two people hugging each other with their eyes blacked out and a text that says never forget.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Dun,
Yeah.
dun, dun.
Yeah. Shirt to be seen suit. I just got to make sure I can't get sued for wearing it because it has. Anyway.
Put your logo on it. It's a write-off. Yeah.
And then I could. Then does the company get sued at that? Anyway, I just got to worry.
Yeah,
that
then
I
it would
can't
be the
get
company
sued
that
for
would get
wearing a
sued.
shirt of
Yeah.
me and another gentleman's picture where he's hugging me from behind, who used to be a co-host of mine. But anyway, the point is, have I shown you? Okay, well, I got more stuff to show you. We'll keep that one offline. Welcome to the live show. Summer's like. Summer, I love when Summer's like, "Is this going too far? It's gonna be trouble." Wait, hang
I'm
on,
Switzerland. I'm
hang
Switzerland.
on, one second. All right, there we go. Now the mics are live again. So you're absolutely correct on all of that. And with that being said, and the wisdom that you shared, now I'm going to wrap it all up to say our guest today is Alexis Carrera, everybody. I knew it was going to be a great conversation. 35 minutes into the podcast, and I can finally start talking about who you are. Although anybody that listens to you talk, they can already sense it. I would love to. Here's something, as much time as we spent together, I only know a little bit about your family's history, and I've always told you I wanted to talk about this. One of the things I've always appreciated about Alexis is she comes from wealth, but also doesn't treat people as if like they're beneath her, versus the people that she's watched that went from nothing, become wealthy, and then treat everybody as if they're beneath her. And it's one of the things, and I believe that your dad raised famous horses for jockeys that won all over the world. That's her background. Her mom was an oil tycoon. She used to catch whales and then make lipstick out of it, right? Isn't that how your family came to wealth?
Mascara.
Mascara,
Yeah.
Yeah, she was the baby you were born with it lady, right?
Right,
Yeah. It turns out she wasn't. So isn't that the whole commercial? Talk about being your authentic self.
Oh
Isn't
my
that the whole
gosh.
commercial? You're not good enough, wear our mascara. Wouldn't that be the message?
I don't know. I don't watch TV much anymore.
You don't remember? Maybe she's born with it?
Oh, yeah.
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 The
That's right.
lashes, yeah.
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 That's-
Yeah. It's a
Maybe
lot.
she's
no
born
one's
with
born
it.
with
Yeah.
it. Well, that's not true. There are people that are born with it, and you're like, damn.
There's like the Kim K lashes. Are you aware of
No.
the Kim K?
I
No.
want to be aware. What's happening?
She's just got really good lashes.
Who's that?
Kim Kardashian.
Oh, yes.
Oh.
Yep.
Are they real? I
They're
don't believe any- I
real.
don't believe
They're
anybody.
real. I know you don't want to believe it, but
How do you know they're real?
she just says they're real, and
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
I don't
I
know.
don't know.
But they're
either.
real now, right?
I mean, she probably has
They're
like some really good
really on her eyes.
serums and whatever it is,
Yeah.
There's an old. Now I know that you don't know Seinfeld. Do you know the Fresh Prince of Bel Air? There's an old episode on the Fresh Prince of Bel Air where Will Smith is dating this girl, and then they get stuck in a closet or something like that, and she starts getting really warm, so she takes her wig off.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember
Yep.
this? And
Yeah.
he's like, "What
Yeah,
is
yeah,
this?"
yeah.
Because her hair isn't like at all.
Yep.
And then they get in this huge fight because he's like, "Well, I didn't expect this."
Catfish.
So then she takes her eyelashes
Yep.
off,
I
and then
remember
she
that.
starts peeling all of her fingernails off.
Yeah, I remember that.
It was something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I don't know. I know a little bit, but I really don't know. So this will be a little bit discovery for me too. Like, were your parents? I know your dad is a businessman. Was he wealthy when you came into the world, or was he
No.
on his way to wealth?
No. So my grandfather is from the UP in Michigan.
Okay.
And he, growing up, he had an outhouse as a bathroom, like came from nothing. My dad went to Michigan Tech University and graduated with mechanical and electrical engineering degree, and worked for Ford for a little while. And my grandfather was like, he was moseying around in downtown Detroit and doing his thing down there with some people.
Like what are we talking about here? Was he also a businessman?
He was a businessman.
Okay, I understand. Yeah.
This,
Drug dealer.
yeah,
She means he's a drug dealer.
no, it wasn't drugs.
Oh, gross. Sex work.
But he, which I didn't find out until about a year ago how involved he was in the city of Detroit at the time.
Yeah.
But he would go and get his custom suits made every week, and he would never wear the same suit twice. And
What?
and he like loved the city of Detroit.
Your grandpa,
My grandfather,
who
yeah,
had an outhouse,
who had an outhouse.
got to the point where he was buying a new suit every other week?
Yes.
How did he do that?
So he was really good with communicating and networking with people.
There it is.
And
Very interesting.
Yeah, and he got involved in some real estate things, and he started growing his own business in the automotive industry.
Okay.
So fast forward where my dad got his degree, and my grandfather was like, "Hey, how about we do something really cool and get involved in plastics?" So they the two masterminds came together, and they built this plastic company that ended up going global. It's still the leading compression molding plastic company for the automotive industry today.
Huh.
Continental Structural Plastics. You see them everywhere. They ended up, I think the Japanese own the company now.
Well,
Yeah.
shout out to Continental
Structural
Structural Plastics.
Yeah, I see the
Easy.
logo around all the time, and I remember my dad and my mom drafting the logo at my dining room table when I was a kid.
Do they
Yeah,
have? Are
that's
they
cool.
yellow on black? Is
No,
that
it's
them?
black, red. It's
Oh,
black and
okay.
red. It's CSP.
Okay.
And that's what he did.
Interesting.
That's fun.
Yeah.
That's really innovative that they were just like, hey, let's do something. with
Father and son
plastic.
too is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
that.
and they're in the automotive already.
It didn't go as well as I'm making it sound, though. I mean, my
Tell us
grandfather,
about it, yeah.
my grandfather tried to sue him a couple of times.
Your
They
dad?
hated each other. Oh yeah.
What?
They hated each other. There was
Really?
a lot of shit going on. Oh yeah.
This is great.
Oh,
Tell us
yeah.
about this. So
Yeah.
your grandfather says to your dad, "Let's get into business.
Mm-hmm.
We hate each other," and your dad's like,
My grandfather was a grizzly bear of a man.
"Okay,
Oh yeah, big time. Like it was like F-bombs, GDs,
Yeah.
all the time, and yeah, he was very, very. People feared him.
yeah.
interesting."
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
why they get he was in the mafia. That's why they gave him the suits. It all makes sense now.
So
There's bodies buried in
after
that
he
plastic.
passed away, my dad always knew this. But he would disappear. He separated from my grandmother when my dad was young. And I have an aunt as well. But it was because he was always out and would disappear for like weeks at a time, and no one would know where he was. After he passed, we found out that he has like money in the Cayman Islands and
Oh.
multiple aliases, and
It's like a
Wow.
movie.
yeah, he's kind of
This
a
is
wild
awesome.
man. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
very interesting. So, and it's funny because if you know me, I have a very deep interest in that lifestyle and things like that. I mean,
Yeah.
I love mob movies and I love stuff like that. So it's kind
Yeah.
of like, and
It's
I
like
love
in
the
your
city.
genes.
It's totally in
You're-
my
you were
blood.
I get
maybe
it.
meant
Yeah,
to be
and
a
I
mobster.
never knew. Yeah, I had no idea.
I just started watching The Penguin, so I'm totally into this.
Yeah, I had no idea.
That's awesome.
It's an interesting concept. That's for sure.
So
Yeah, I believe it.
So let me ask you, why did your dad? Was it just for the money then that your dad decided to grit through all of it? Because that's
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. My dad retired. I think he was like 48 years old or something by the time he
Wow.
retired. He had his first sports car in Ferrari when he was 33.
Hmm.
And so I grew up. The first house that we lived in was in Boyne Falls, Michigan. If you're familiar, it was an A-frame house right across the street from Boyne Mountain, like the main entrance of Boyne Mountain. It's up on a hill.
Yeah.
In the woods a little bit, and in the spring, and in the before the leaves grow on the trees, you can still see it. And it wasn't anything fancy. Pretty sure it was haunted. Like there's some wild stuff that would go on in that house. And then we migrated to Petoskey, and that's where we built the big house that we lived in, and that was for entertaining. It was like the reason it was so big was because they wanted to host
Yeah.
company parties.
Yeah.
So they built a 20,000 square foot house over there.
Yeah, to
which
have a
was
place for the
wild.
family.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
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 Now, did your dad get? Is he involved in?
No.
'Cause
no.
he didn't
My
know.
dad was no.
So
I
he's
think,
above board.
I think my grandfather at that point was out of it. It was
Got
more
it.
in his younger life that he was
Okay.
more involved in it, and
Yeah.
then he stepped out of it at that point.
Got
But it's one of those things where you can't really get out of it. And I
Yeah,
don't know for
yeah.
sure. Like, but my grandmother has said some weird things and told us some weird stories, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
but
what-
we've never heard it from him. So
From your grandpa?
right. I
Yeah.
mean, and he passed away. So,
Yeah.
but
So
he was always a
that's-
very secretive man.
Yeah.
And every property that he owned, he had a piece of property that he donated to the veterans. That's now not donated to the veterans because the veterans ended up selling it from underneath him for the mineral rights because it was like 100% or 90% limestone.
Oh.
So it's at this point probably a giant hole in the ground, which is too bad. But it was in Trout
Yeah.
Lake, Wilwyn Lodge. If you guys want to look it up, it was really cool.
Maybe they were looking for bodies, and that's what. That's how they found
And,
there's minerals.
and,
They're looking for bodies. And they're like, wait a minute, there's minerals here.
And every piece of property that he owned was a lot of land. He was a hunter. He was a very simplistic man. He wore the same pair of jeans. I mean, like he had multiple pairs of the same pair of jeans.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Yeah.
very laid back guy. My whole family is. Like I don't know. We're kind of like well rounded. We can hunt, we can fish, we can camp, we can sleep on the
Which
floor.
is, but yeah. But
It's-
but at the same time, there's a wealth aspect there.
But then we can. But I grew up with equestrian, and we can ride horses, and
Yeah.
it's a very interesting dynamic family. I grew up with yachts, and we would like on Lake Michigan. We would travel, and we would spend weeks at a time on our summer boat and just travel around. It was a lot of fun. I had a
That
really
sounds-
great lifestyle as a
yeah.
kid.
So
Yeah.
what's crazy is you are living you live the real lifestyle that everybody else pretends and then wishes that they lived.
It's
And I don't
true.
talk about it.
But it's funny because then that's the thing. Nobody, and the other thing is everybody always assumes because there is a perception and a persona that high wealth people put out,
Sure.
and but you're the most down to earth. And what's really funny is, and we talked about this the other day, you're the most approachable. Anybody can come up to you, even though everybody's intimidated.
I hope
Anybody
not.
can-
I love
You know
people.
that they are, though.
I love people. No, and we've talked about it. I'm like, I don't know why that happens. I feel
Yeah.
like I can sense. I'm very intuitive, and I can sense that people kind of are sometimes.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I'll just break the ice. I mean,
She
me.
does. Oh,
I'll
yeah.
immediately break
I'll
the
tell
ice.
the story. We're out at this club. We're watching this DJ just tear up a set. Not in a good way. It was hilarious though. And these people,
was fun.
she feels it, and I'm watching, and she walks into the room, and the girls instantly, they're pulling their man closer and all that stuff. And I'm like, and I just told her, I'm like, it's so funny watching people watch you, and then they kind of point and talk, because it goes back to the insecurities. Well,
Which we all have.
yeah. So Alexis isn't going to take that. So she gets up and walks straight to their table,
Well, I just don't want people to feel that way.
and she just instantly
Like, hey.
But
Yeah,
see,
I'm like,
that's
"Hi,
what
let's
people
be
need to
friends."
do. Yes, that's literally.
Yeah.
She sat down at the table, had all, and then got contact information from them. Like I've seen her do this multiple times, where she just walks up to a group of people and then initiates the conversation, puts everybody at ease, and everybody's like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
I guess it works now.
Yeah.
And but see, that's even something that again, back to what I said. And we've had this conversation about how we have watched people that we knew that went from nothing, and then they treat people as if they're nothing because they forgot where they came from.
Yeah.
Kind of funny how that goes.
I don't
Yeah,
like that. I don't
yeah.
like those. I don't like when people do that. I wasn't raised that way. And people are people, and we all have a story. And I think that it's important that we treat each other as, individuals, and we all have feelings. And life is so short, and you have to be really careful what you project into the universe because that will come back to you. And I'm naturally just a very optimistic and happy person, and I like helping people and making people feel happy. Like when people feel self-conscious or if somebody's down, I've been like this since I was a kid.
Yeah.
Like on my old report cards, it would be like, wouldn't come in from recess, had to go find her because she was in the corner like talking to some bully because blah, 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 blah. And that's just
Yeah.
always how I've been. And that's why I got involved in the psychological world as well. Because I love just talking to people and being around people,
Yeah.
which is why I love real estate as well, because I get to do it every day.
Yeah. How were your grades at school?
Terrible.
Good.
Awful.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
my God. I think I graduated from high school with like a 2.4 GPA.
Ha
or
you
like
graduated,
yeah.
loser.
That's
my what's it called? The guy that run. Why can I not think?
The principal?
Principal. Not the president,
It's
the
so
principal.
bad
president
at
of
school.
the school.
You don't even know what the people are called.
principal.
You know the person that
You know the
talks every day
person,
and
that guy,
they do the
the guy that
chalk on the
runs-
board. Are you talking about a teacher? Yeah.
Yeah, that guy.
That guy.
He shook my hand when he handed me my diploma, and he said, "I hope I never see you again."
Oh my
Whoa.
goodness.
And
Oh.
then fast forward to about, I don't know, 6 years or 7 years later,
Yeah.
my husband at the time, now, if those of you that know, I am no longer married, we still love him to bits, but he got a job call in the construction industry for his business. We show up, and it's our ex-principal.
That's hilarious.
And I was like, oh, so remember that time that you said, because you know how I am. I'm, of course,
Yeah.
going to just bring it up. I'm like, remember that time that you said you never hoped that you saw me again? Well, here
Here
I am.
Here I am. Love that. I love that for you.
Yeah.
I
This
love
felt
that.
good.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
What did he say?
He was like, how is everything? And totally, things
Just
have
ignored
changed.
it?
Yeah. He's
Yeah.
like, how's life? How's everything going?
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Yeah. I don't remember who you are. That's what you think he remembers?
No, he totally remembered.
Oh, did he give you that look?
absolutely. Absolutely.
That is
I
so
think
funny.
they do. They
They
remember.
he absolutely
Yeah.
remembered me. Oh, yeah. I was
That's-
always in trouble.
Yeah.
I was not a
Yep.
How
grade
did
A.
you do in school? Did you do good in school?
Me, I did good. I did good, and then I had moments where like I started just missing my first class of school every day. It was
Yeah.
Spanish,
Oh,
and I
wow.
literally it got to the point where I don't know why, but I just wouldn't go because I was like,
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on. I was so stressed out and frustrated.
Yeah.
So I think my problem sometimes was like maybe I just wouldn't go. I wouldn't wake up or go. But when I did go, I was pretty good.
How were your grades?
Yeah.
My grades were always decent, but then it would go back to like, you miss a couple Spanish classes, you're screwed.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
Oh,
everybody's
yeah.
like mumble jumble and you're over here like still at hola, uno, dos, tres.
Right. Yeah.
That was me with everything.
Yeah.
No,
Math,
I was
algebra,
further
forget it.
ahead, but I think I was in Spanish 2. That's what it was. It was my first hour, Spanish 2. And it
would've
wasn't
been-
the easy
It would have been
stuff.
Spanish dos. Just to
Dos.
yeah.
Espanol.
Yeah,
Dos.
yeah.
Anywho, yeah. When I did try, and when I think that's something that like I use in my adult life today is because like I know if I want to do something, like if I just do it and put my full effort into things, I can do things very well. And maybe if I would have done that a little bit more in school, I would have had better grades. But I passed. I graduated.
Yeah.
I wasn't a 4.0. I
No,
really
I
don't
didn't wanna
remember my
be.
GPA.
I
I passed though.
yeah, I knew then that it wasn't going to matter.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
yeah.
knew too.
I was
to
like,
be
I
quite
don't,
honest.
this isn't going to matter for me
I
in a couple
know.
years. So why?
Yeah.
I just
So-
want to skirt by. That's,
What's the first millionaire that I ever had that had an influence over me was I became friends with this kid, and his dad sold dolls, and it was a huge doll company. They made them for Disney, and it was like it was a custom made porcelain doll back when those were really popular. And when I met him, my viewpoint changed. I always struggled in school anyway, but my viewpoint completely changed. It was the same way because I was like, I realized really early on, and it's not true for everybody, but most people, all those people, the people that always did the best in school, and even when I look back at my friends, like they're all working jobs, and some of them are still like at Taco Bell.
yeah.
So
Yeah,
like
I know,
there,
I know.
I was like, and meanwhile, when I look at successful people, they all own the businesses that all the people that did school at are working for.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I learned that at 17, which was a really, really great lesson, and also it was detrimental. It's why I never finished school.
Huge. Yeah, your entrepreneurs are your average C&D students.
Yeah, yeah.
Which is crazy.
Yep.
Because our brains, we're all ADD and ADHD.
Yeah, yeah.
And we cannot we don't listen to we're not
I
task
know.
takers. We don't listen to instruction well.
Mm-hmm.
And we're,
But we're creatives.
we're creatives.
Yeah.
We're visionaries.
Yes.
a lot
We
of us.
create
Yeah.
things for everybody else.
I
That's
know.
this whole thing was born out of
Some of the
ADD.
great people to
Right.
ever be born. I'd
Yeah,
say.
we're ADD. I
And we
agree
need-
with you.
We
I'd say
need
so.
we need the A students
Yes.
to execute
Right, but because
to
they
listen
because we can't.
to our tasks
Yeah.
Part
because
of-
we can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I'll tell you what, A students are screwed with ChatGPT.
Oh, yeah,
I've
yeah.
been using that to organize my life lately, and I'll tell you what, I got some great prompts for ChatGPT, and the amount of stuff that it can do for me now, I'm like, whoa,
It's
I've
huge.
been
No,
I've been
it's
involved
so
in it forever.
big. It's crazy.
But it's those A students, but they'll always, and like I said, it's not that an A student couldn't, I guess. How did your dad do in school?
I feel my dad. I know that in college, him and his friends were like growing pot. You know?
Yeah.
You know, my dad was like he was like
He was the cool kid.
he was the
that
cool, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he was a car guy.
Yeah.
He had the cool car, and he was friends with everybody too. And that was the thing about me in high school. I never had a clique. I was friends with everybody possible. And my dad was the same way. We actually have the same birthday as well, which is
You
wild.
and your dad do?
Oh,
Yes.
that's cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who
When's your
gets better
birthday?
gifts? Oh, that's a better question. Go for that one.
What?
When's your birthday?
December 15th.
There it is,
Okay.
everybody. Now you
Right
guys
around
know.
Christmas time. So you and
She
your
got
dad
screwed.
right around. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
My oldest is on the 20th. And this is this year, and I feel horrible about this. This was his 13th birthday this year. But with Christmas and everything, we just, it all, you know how it goes.
Yeah.
It's not that we forgot. It's just,
Oops.
ooh, here it is.
Oh.
Santa
It happened so fast.
Happy birthday,
Yeah.
Christmas.
Yeah.
Santa says.
Yeah.
But when you
Santa
get
says happy birthday.
Yeah. This is from Santa and
Yep.
everybody else.
Right.
Yeah,
And
roll it all
also,
into one.
Merry Christmas, Happy Birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's easier that way.
You know what's crazy about that though? As a parent, it's my fault. Like, have you ever thought
You
about
should
that?
have
Like,
timed it out differently.
it's your parents' fault when your birthday was. It's not
It
yours.
is.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. Except,
Yeah.
so I think my story though is I was a C-section baby, and my
Okay.
mom, the doctor, not knowing, gave my mom two choices. It was wait another month and a half or get it done on December 15th. And my mom was like, I'm doing it. She was like, I'm
Yeah,
sorry to my
just
dad.
get it-
She's like, I'm
get it
sorry,
done
but this is
now.
happening.
Yeah.
She's like, I can't wait any
Makes
longer.
sense. Checks out. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you really
So,
think about it.
Yeah. So here I am.
Well, look at that.
Yeah,
Love that.
I know. It was kind of crazy.
But she did. She kind of chose your birthday then.
Kind of, yeah.
Oh. Oh, wow. That's cool.
But it also
just kinda
the
hit
way
me.
yeah, but
Yeah.
it also is it's regardless, I feel like it's destiny. Like we all have,
Well,
you know.
yeah. Like how odd that she would get the choice,
choice
to
of
either
that
have the
or-
same birthday as your father
know,
or
out of
wait
everything.
another month.
Right.
Usually it's like you gotta wait or we gotta do it now.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's interesting.
I love that. It's so funny because, and it's hard, and I want to be very, very clear here. I think that there is a need for education. When I was in high school, I did an article, however, that there's a difference between education and school. And it was probably one of the best written articles that I ever did. I put a lot of time, effort, and energy. They would not publish that. And I think that what we're seeing right now is a resurgence for needing to go from school and really get back to education. Summer, you hit on something really important earlier on. You were talking about how you did good in the stuff that you actually wanted to do, and you excelled there. Look, there is, again, you need the foundations and stuff like that. Like, you need to know that 2 + 2 equals
ABC
potato.
1, 2, 3. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, 100%.
You ever read the book Everything I Needed to Learn I Learned in Kindergarten?
No.
Yep.
No, but I'm a huge fan of trade schools.
Yes.
Like I think trade schools, I think that's gonna end up coming back around.
I hope so.
I think I'm a
see
fan
that.
too. I think
Yeah.
it's really, yeah.
I see that as an evolutionary thing that's going to be happening in the next,
It needs
15
to.
years.
I think it needs to be too. Like those are jobs that are like very important, very
Yeah.
necessary.
So have you guys seen? So I'm not promoting South Park in one way, shape, or the other, but I will tell you this:
South
they
Park.
came out with a series on Paramount Plus, I think it was. They came out with an episode called Streaming Wars, and they made fun of where we're at right now as a society. And I had to watch it, and I don't recommend it, but
Can
I will
I
tell
just
you everybody
say,
should watch it.
I like South Park. I
You
think
can
it's
watch it.
funny.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's fun. I'll watch
Have
it.
you seen in this episode that they did the movie?
I have. Is there a new season or something?
It's not a season. They're doing streaming shows now. So the guys have gotten really old and they can only write so many fart jokes. So what they
Yeah.
have basically said is instead of writing 36 shows in a year, they're writing 4, and they're doing these specials and they're releasing them on streaming platforms.
Yeah.
Well, there's this one that's called the Streaming Wars, and in it is hilarious because what happens is everybody gets into tech, and it starts out with Stan's dad trying to get Alexa to tell him how to fix a cabinet that the hinge is off
Oh my gosh.
because he doesn't know how to do a screwdriver.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
So he calls the handyman after trying to figure it out, and the handyman is backed up because there's not enough handymen. And then when the guy finally comes, it's like $3,000 to fix the
Oh,
thing.
I've seen that. Yeah.
And then the handyman rolls up in this
I've seen a
Rolls
clip of
Royce.
Oh my god, of course.
And so I
Yeah.
talked to a guy that was in heating and cooling yesterday. And he said, that's so funny because that's exactly how it's going right now. Their rates are getting so high because they'll never have to prospect for business again because everybody has stopped learning how to do
Nobody
basic
can
trades.
do anything.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's such a huge advantage.
No, that
there.
is really true.
Do you remember like home economics classes where people used to be when we were
Yes.
forced to learn how to sew
Yes.
and make
Yeah.
tortilla chips?
Well, you didn't have to.
Yes.
I,
Remember that?
I
Yeah.
I made a robot pillow.
I made a worm
I made a sock monkey.
because that's all I could.
A worm.
You made a worm. Like,
Just
now let me ask you a question. Did you actually make a worm, or did you just sew two pieces together and then be like, I don't know, it's a worm?
No, it was like a tricolored, like a multicolored worm. It was a worm or like a.
Do you still have
caterpillar.
it?
No.
Oh, too bad.
No, I don't. Well, no, I don't think so.
Yeah. Here's the
Yeah.
truth. We didn't have to take home ec. It was for us. We had a choice: home ec or gym.
Oh yeah, that was. I think maybe that's what it was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's like an elective.
And I was like,
all I can
no.
say is I learned how to make a robot pillow. I was like, well, let me get this straight. I can bake cookies or shoot basketballs.
I know.
You're actually, heck yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like growing up is
Salsa,
awesome.
chips, or
Yeah.
or get
That is
dodgeballs
where
thrown at me.
now that I think about it, it's where I learned to sew.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
where I learned
it
to sew.
is.
I know
Yeah.
how to sew.
I know how to
I'm
sew
not afraid.
too.
Or cursive. We don't know. Our kids don't know how to write cursive anymore.
I know.
It's
but
crazy.
it's not necessary.
It's not.
I
even
enjoy it.
writing in cursive.
Yeah, I feel like the way that I write, it's already like when I'm writing fast, I already have a cursive tone to my writing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, nobody's going to be able to read it.
Yeah.
A
Yeah.
few years.
Nope.
Yeah, they're gonna be like, what kind of hieroglyphic
It'll be fun. Yeah.
messages? We're
A
gonna
thousand
have to-
years
Yeah.
from now, they're looking
is
up cursive
this?
and they're like,
Uh-huh.
"What is this strange thing?"
Yeah.
I think I teach my kids cursive.
Mike, yeah, I can. I don't know. It's one of those things that's just weird where, as a society, we start to lose some of that stuff. But it goes back to what are we replacing this with in education? And interesting enough, bringing up the education, I remember listening to an interview that the former CEO of Verizon Wireless gave, and he only ever gave 2 interviews. And on one of them, he was talking about how the education system has to change. Because what ended up happening was people would go to school for business for 4 years. Then they'd come to Verizon as high-level executives or on their way, and they would have to retrain them for 6 months to another year. So he said, why don't companies just do it themselves
Yeah.
and skip school altogether? And right now with Google certifications that anybody can take online, you can do a 6-month Google certification that will teach you everything that you need to know about cybersecurity and use that to get a job in cybersecurity. Right now, you can do that.
What?
Yes.
You know what's-
Wait, I don't
Yep.
think I'm even aware of what you
Yeah,
could
if you
do.
just type in Google certification, there's ads all over
That's
for it right now.
crazy.
It's a 6-month certification. You can do it, and then Google will offer you a job to work there for them because it's their certification, or you can use that to go get a job in cybersecurity somewhere else.
You know what's crazy as we evolve as human beings, we continue to lose things that we see as necessities.
Yeah.
Like thousands of years ago, we used to be able to, like, the reason that our fingers prune in the water was because we would use it to grip. Like it's a gripping mechanism in the water.
It
we could-
is.
yeah.
Like when you count money, it's not the same, but
Well,
it
for-
makes
for
sense.
For Alexis, it
But
is.
We got
That-
soft fingertips.
By the way, I almost said this too.
What?
How horrible has your life become since the Alexa came out? Like, how many
Oh,
times
it's
do
so
people
bad.
call? Yeah, I was
and
gonna
because I
ask.
have them in my house too.
Yeah. Do
And
you
if
even
I
say
have-
your own name every
If
now
I
and
have
then?
my phone on speaker and somebody says my name, they all go crazy.
Yeah,
And they're like, I'm sorry. I'm like,
Do you get called Alexa all the time now?
Yes.
Isn't that funny?
drives me nuts.
When
Yep.
you said when we started the show, you said Alexis, but
No.
I
Oh,
literally
good.
thought you were about to say Alexa, just because I'm so huge.
It's so hard to
used to
say.
hearing
It happens all
too.
the time.
It's so hard. It's so weird now.
It doesn't bother me though.
Yeah.
I mean, not a lot of stuff bothers me.
It's not bad.
It's
a
good.
way
It's
to
nice
be.
to be
That
I'm
being-
like,
unbothered.
nope, it's Alexis.
That
Yeah.
being said, let's go into your texts from today.
Oh,
this-
More business.
I'm just kidding. We're gonna have to hit that next show because believe it or not, we're almost out of time. But
Yeah.
before we finish, I knew this was gonna fly. Before we finish, there is something that I want to play. We do like to do games with people, so we do have something here. cool. So this is something that I just thought would be interesting. So I pulled this up really quick, and I figured I'd do a quick would you rather round. Okay.
Oh, fun.
So this, by the way, ChatGPT, I basically said, I have somebody that grew up in wealth but super down to earth. Give me some would you rather questions.
Johnny, I don't like that.
Yeah, well, but it's true though. It's true. The down to earth wealthy person. All right. You know, it's fun. We could go downtown Detroit. You'd totally hang out with a homeless person. I've watched you do it.
Yeah.
Right. Versus that. Oh, they're not. Oh, never. I've
I
got
don't
my
like those
poodle.
people.
Although
Yeah.
you do have some
Poodle.
cool dogs. So you're definitely not a poodle person. She has
No.
wolves. That's true. So, and they're cool. The coolest dogs ever.
They talk a lot.
They do. And they have big poops. So,
They do. They like you a lot.
yeah. That was it.
Yeah, that was perfect.
Okay, so would you rather? Okay, this I like this. Would you rather have to personally answer every single telemarketing call that you receive, or manually count, or manually have to count all your money before you could spend it?
Oh, telemarketing calls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I figured as much. Isn't that
Yeah.
funny?
Yeah.
You'd rather take those than actually have to take the time to cash a
and,
digital.
like,
Yeah.
So
count
I would
it
have
all?
to count all of my money
Yeah.
manually
Yeah.
before I buy anything.
Yeah.
Every single time.
Yeah.
Oh, telemarketing calls all day. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Good.
Oh God.
So what I didn't tell you is I just made $5 by your admittance to that because I've now added you to the national telemarketing list, and so we're all becoming wealthy today. Okay.
I'll give you I'll give you 10. Take me off.
There you go.
I love that. I already know
Double
the
it.
answer to this. I'm going to. Man, I wish I wouldn't have thought of this while we were doing this show, because I would love to see what your thought is, and we could have written this down. But I know your answer to this already. Would you rather have a personal chef? I already know this. Would you rather have a personal chef that can only make poor microwave meals, or a chauffeur who only drives 5 miles an hour?
Oh God. Oh my God.
See, ChatGPT, good. This is good.
Oh geez. Wait, poor microwave meals.
Yeah, let's just say like the $1.99 Hungry Man soggy meat meal with the potatoes that are
Driver.
like liquid. Really?
Yeah.
That surprises me.
Yeah, because well, do I have to pay for either of them? I have to pay for them.
Well, let's just assume that they're employed by you or your family or they
Because
knew
if
your
I have,
grandpa.
well, this is the way I
don't
look
know.
at it. If I have a driver,
Yeah,
I can still work while I'm
Yeah.
driving.
That's what I was
5 miles an
thinking.
hour though.
Right.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
at least I
It's
can
like you're sitting in the
multitask.
office.
You're never gonna
Yeah.
get there. You'll never be on time.
Ever.
Ever.
Yeah. By the time it's over, I have to turn
Yeah.
around
Hey,
and go
but
home.
then you can hire assistants still
Yeah.
to be on time
Yeah.
to your appointment.
While you're eating your steak in the back seat
Well,
of the
I'm
car.
not
Exactly.
eating
You're
my-
just
my
in the
TV
car
dinner
basically
meals.
for the
Yeah.
rest of your life, but you have food.
Right.
Oh, this one's great. So, I'm going to ask both of you guys this.
I'm actually surprised because you know how I am about food. I love food.
Well, I know, but I also know how you are about food, and I've been to your house and I've seen. I'm like, she already have the Hungry Man
My
in there. What's the
colossal
difference?
sized bag of popcorn.
yeah.
It's bigger. It's like as big as me.
And the one plate. I'm like, yeah, dude.
Yeah.
We mowed down on some popcorn one time, and I bought that
I
since
love
then.
food.
It's the best. It's the best. I'm going to share a.
It's the
I'm
way
gonna-
to my heart.
I'm going to share an inside thing between me and Alexis. One time, and this is true, one time I actually put numbers in and I was monitoring things, and I realized that I was gaining 1 pound for every hour that I was hanging out with Alexis.
That makes sense. It makes sense.
We would go
Yeah.
to these
Snacking.
restaurants and we always eat. And when we
Yeah.
eat, like
I'm hungry right now.
Yeah, are you? Like,
Yeah.
well, we'll go get your tattoo and go have like something
you
fried
go.
somewhere.
Yeah, I need like a
Perfect.
burger or something.
Yeah, yeah.
I love to eat.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep.
Yeah, and I weighed myself the other day. I weighed 112 pounds before I left for Cabo.
Oh man, I remember being a baby.
And yeah, and I that's less than I weighed in high school.
Yeah.
I weighed
Yeah.
117 pounds when I was in high school. So
You
I'm
must
like,
have
oh my god.
super high metabolism.
Nope, that's Adderall.
And we're back to that. Jason Courtney, everybody.
Yeah.
Play that clip, Kevin.
It's an appetite suppressant, but I still eat.
It
I don't know.
is,
It just I don't know. Counteracts the two. I don't know. I don't know what happens.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, good.
Yeah.
Yeah, because some people, yeah.
Oh man. Here's
Yeah.
another one. Here's another. This is good. We'll go to food then. Would you rather be only able to eat at Michelin star restaurants, but you have to do all the dishes for everyone, or only eat fast food, but you get served like royalty?
Oh. I don't want to do dishes.
What would you do?
That's not
I do
efficient
the
of my
dishes.
time.
Yep.
Hands down.
Yeah. Well, that's not a big deal, right?
No, it's not a big deal
so,
to me.
I mean, can I strategize and be the entrepreneur self in me?
Nope.
Yeah.
It's
Oh.
just flat out.
Black or white.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're either getting McDonald's or you're
I
washing
mean,
the
there's
dishes.
some good Chipotle's considered fast food. I could eat Chipotle.
Is it though? All right.
They say.
I would say fast food. Is there a
Because
drive-through?
I'm thinking,
Some
I'm thinking
chicken
like Wendy's,
nuggets.
McDonald's,
Yeah,
Taco
I'm
Bell.
defining. I'm gonna
Yeah.
go ahead and define fast food as there has to be a drive-through and it's actually fast.
Okay, tropical smoothie counts. Okay, I guess that. I'm making it
Starbucks
excuses.
counts then. You
I'm making
get scones
excuses.
every day.
Yeah.
Even for Starbucks, I wouldn't do it.
No, I
No,
wouldn't.
not for
And-
Starbucks.
Yeah, I don't know. That's tough.
It is tough. I mean,
I think I'd have to. Maybe I would do the dishes because I can't eat McDonald's every day.
No.
Yuck.
Yeah. Gross.
we'll see. I'm biased. I've worked in a restaurant for
Oh, I
a
haven't.
while,
Yeah.
and yeah, I could do some dishes.
Yeah.
I don't even do my own dishes. They sit there, and I'm like, oh,
It's true.
Should probably do that.
One day
Yeah.
somebody's gonna come in and this will be all set.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Would you rather have an unlimited bank account? Oh man. But you have to wait in the line at the DMV every time you want to buy something.
Oh.
Or only have $1,000, but you get VIP treatment.
DMV.
Yeah,
Yeah.
every single time.
Yep.
I'll do one more of these. Let's see. Where was the there's a servant one on here. Would you rather? I like this. I like this one. This is fun. Would you rather have a personal assistant who is extremely efficient, but roasts you every time they do something for you, or an assistant who is super nice, but is absolutely useless?
No, I would roast me all day.
I know.
Please.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would love that. I think that would be so fun because that's my personality type. I
Yeah.
would love it. It would be like, what is it? Lay it on
Yeah.
me. I would love that. Would be a blast.
Great. So that was my job application. So we started with me making $5. No.
I think that'd be hilarious.
Oh man, that's great. There's 1,000 of them on here. We're gonna have to have you back the next time we do this because we have run out of time. I knew this was gonna fly by.
Yeah,
It
we
was
have to talk about some business stuff.
a great
Work stuff. Real estate.
Yeah, you know, we'll get to it.
Pick my brain.
Thank you so much for coming on. I can't wait to have you on again.
Yeah,
Thank
absolutely.
you for making time out of your day today, although I know you had nothing better to do, like 16 other people out there.
Yeah, LOL.
LOL. And neither did you. Thanks for coming along.
Yeah,
None of us
nothing.
had nothing to do today.
No, this was a great time. Thank you so much,
Yes,
Alexis.
it absolutely was a great time. And guys, we appreciate you. Summer, what time is it?
All right, we're gonna hit the lights, pull the side, and lock the door. We're ending Open House, the podcast. Make sure to like, follow, and